And now, here to entertain you all, because every day he's hustling. Side Hustle Cinema.
Welcome back to the channel, Side Hustle Cinema here. Thanks for clicking on this video. And guys, today I'm going to do a little spoiler-free review of the new Scream Factory movie, The Pack. And yeah, I thought this one was great, so I wanted to talk about it a little bit. I'll show you, the packaging. We'll talk about the movie a little bit, all spoiler-free. We'll talk about the audio special features, and I've got some fun facts about this movie that were pretty amusing. And there's one of the special features that is just bizarre. It's really weird that they would put that special feature in this movie, and yeah, I'll talk a little bit about that as well. That one made me do a little double take. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about The Pack. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at what you get with The Pack. There's not a whole lot going on as far as packaging goes. Very simple cover to this one. On the back, you just got a little bit of stuff on there. You got the main bad guy dog, Josh. Well, that's his real name. I don't know. He didn't have a name in the movie. But they talk about Josh a lot in the special features. There's Joe Don Baker. Of course, you remember him from Walking Tall and other movies. He's great. I was a big fan of his. This one came out in 1977. It's got a new 2K scan. It's 95 minutes long. Sells for about $25. I would pay it every day, all day. I really enjoyed this one that much. Joe Don Baker's pretty much the only real familiar name in this movie. It was a small budget movie. Fun fact: it was filmed in Bodega Bay, California, and that was they looked at locations there because of the movie The Birds, and so it's a little bit of it pays a little bit of homage to The Birds, just because it was filmed, at Bodega Bay. And but they needed a seaside island in this movie, and something that was surrounded by the ocean, things like that. Perfect location. And the movie is basically about it's a sort of an island that people would go to. It's sort of a retreat, and it's the end of the season. It's toward the end of the season, and you see a family that is they're headed back to the city, and they had a dog. They picked a dog up for the summer, and they don't want to take it back to the city, so they're just going to randomly tie it up in the woods, and it'll be happier here on the island, they say. Horrible people. I wish they would have gotten eaten, but they're only in the movie in the very beginning. So yeah, so this was supposed to have a little bit of a social commentary. Don't abandon your pets. Don't mistreat your pets. You get you pick up an animal from a shelter, or you pick up an animal. It's yours. Take care of it. Treat it like a member of the family. Don't discard it like it's something that you can just throw away. That was the message that they wanted to go with. But really, there's not much. It's pretty flimsy as far as any type of messaging in this movie. It really doesn't. If you know that that's what they're going for, you can kind of see it. But otherwise, it's it's pretty much a horror movie about a bunch of dogs eating people on an island. So And that's what this movie really comes down to, and they do a fantastic job of it. Yeah, so it's the end of the season, so there's not too many people on the island, and all these leftover strays and things have, they're facing starvation. They've kind of formed this pack. They're going a little bit crazy, and yeah, so they're just going around and attacking anything and everything. And there's tons of action in this movie. This movie was directed by Robert Klaus. He was the director for Enter the Dragon, and he definitely wanted a little bit more of an action flick in this one, and he really got it. This one, there's about 10 minutes of introduction, and then for the other 85 minutes of this movie, it's full throttle um, dog attacks. So very cool. There's 15 dogs in the pack. They trained 35 dogs for the movie. All the dogs had a body double, just in case they don't feel like performing or whatever the case may be. Of course, this is an older movie, so you're getting all real dogs, no CGI dogs or anything like that. And they did a really great job. I mean, really great. And you're always a little bit worried about, is there any animal cruelty or anything like that going on? I didn't really find any information that said that, that there was any kind of cruelty. Carl Miller was the animal trainer in this movie. He was the same trainer for Cujo and Beethoven. Those are two more movies that he worked on. And so, he has a reputation of being pretty good. Listening to the special features, there was a couple stories that maybe weren't the greatest for, not the dogs, but for some gophers. Apparently, apparently the animal trainer, Carl Miller, would keep a few gophers in a cage, and he would use those to whip the dogs up into a frenzy. Like when they would see this gopher in a cage, they like really wanted to get after it, and so they would, it would like boost their energy and get them kind of riled up and ready to sort of run around and do things. There's even a scene in here where there's a Jeep that is trying to run over some of the dogs, and some of the dogs are like kind of chasing that Jeep and trying to attack the Jeep. And Carl Miller, I guess, was in the back of the Jeep and had one of these gophers with him in there. So I don't know. it sounds a little crazy. Maybe it wouldn't fly today, but everyone said how well he took care of the animals, and how especially the lead animal, Josh, was so great to work with, that he was just one of the most well-trained dogs ever. And they did put like these plastic bits in their mouths to get that snarling effect, it would flare out their their snouts, make them look like they're snarling. I don't guess they minded it. I mean, I don't know. You don't know, but so they did wear that because the dogs are snarling like in every scene. It feels like, but yeah, very very kind of intense movie. A lot of suspense, a lot of edge of your seat kind of stuff going on in this one. And I really liked it a lot. A couple fun facts. This one came out in 1977 with a PG rating. The studio did not want a PG rating. They wanted a rated R movie. And so they petitioned the Motion Picture Association of America to go back and re-rate this one. and they did so and then gave it an R rating. And that so when it came out worldwide in '78, in other countries it came out with an R rating, but originally here in the U.S. it was a PG movie back in '77. Another fun fact, I guess, is Charlton Heston was originally asked to be the lead role, and he turned down the movie, and of course that role was given to Joe Don Baker, who I think is a much, much better choice. Not a huge fan of Charlton Heston, and Joe Don Baker is really great. He's one of those actors that when you see him in one of his movies, I don't know, he makes the part like super believable. He's a super likable guy that just comes off not, I don't know, it's almost like it doesn't even come from his character. It's like you just see Joe, like even in Walking Tall and stuff. It's like okay, he's a good dude. He's my kind of guy. I could hang with Joe Don Baker, And so that was pretty cool. I like that. Good casting choice there. New 2K restoration on this thing, so looked fantastic. Looked totally fantastic. No grain in this movie whatsoever. Super clean, super clear. All the outdoor scenery looked fantastic. The shots of the dogs were all great. And just an awesome, awesome 2K restoration of this movie. Really good. The audio, nothing to write home about on this. It came across clean and clear. No problems listening to it. They have it listed as a DTS HD Master Audio Dual Mono is what they're calling it. And in the theater, in my home theater there, it was all front heavy. There was really nothing in the upper channels, nothing in the rear channels hardly. It was pretty much all front stage only, but it sounded fine. Although, you do see a potential from watching the movie where you're like, man, this would have made an awesome Atmos track, because there's a lot of rain and thunderstorms in this movie, and there's also like a lot of scenes where, like, before the dogs would come in to attack, there would be like this howling that they would do, and that would have sounded great, like being pumped in from maybe some rear channels, some upper heads or something, and just to get that, where are they coming from, they got you surrounded kind of feel. That would have been awesome. That was not the case, though. However, I don't think a movie like this would ever get a 4K or an Atmos setup, but you never know. You never know these days. Getting into the special features, there's some on this, not a ton, but more than I expected. There is a new audio commentary track on this one. From a film historian, who talks about the movie. That was pretty good. We have, most of the actors that are in this movie are dead. This movie came out in '77, and a lot of them were kind of old, middle-aged, kind of old. And so, this movie's been out a long time. And so most of the cast is dead, but some of the ones that are still around did brand new interviews about the movie, and that was pretty good. But the one special feature I'm talking about that's a little bit crazy, let's see, Sherry E. DeBoner, or something like that, I don't know, terrible names. But she plays like this young, bubbly blonde in the movie. She's really cute. And she opens up her 25-minute interview with, "I hate this movie." She's like, "I regret doing this movie. I wish I would have never done it." I think the movie's crappy, the whole thing. And I'm sitting there going, wow, why would they put this on this movie? Why would they, and so the guy interviewing her, tried to get her to talk more about the movie. She didn't have a problem with, like, like animal cruelty or anything like that. That wasn't her thing. Although, like, she only had, like, 5 film credits. And, after she left this movie, she actually went into she became an animal activist. It was kind of crazy, but she really had nothing good to say about the movie at all, which is why I thought it was such a bizarre interview to include in this movie. I would have just left it out probably. Everyone else had some great things to say. Everyone loved that lead dog, Josh. Everyone talked about him. There were stories told. Some of the stuff I've mentioned was, mentioned in those special features. So, big recommendation for The Pack. I think it's definitely rewatchable. Worth that $25 price tag, I think. I have no problem with it because I'll be watching this one again, maybe soon. And definitely I'll probably be giving this a yearly watch. Summertime. It's a good, probably summertime kind of animal attacks movie. And I just really enjoyed this one quite a bit. Probably going to do a slipcover for it, possibly. I'm going to see if I can't find some other artwork. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you dig this artwork? Do you think that would make a good slipcover? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And guys, and I guess that's going to do it for today. If you like the video, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're unsubscribed to the channel, I invite you to do so. And as always, stay safe, have fun, keep watching those movies, and I'll see you in the next one.